Thanks, everybody. Nice to meet you. Although I don't appreciate being behind Jim. I mean, not only was he great, and that guy's got my body. This was kind of interesting for me, really, to go backwards and think about all the really smart things I did and all the really stupid things. I mean, it's kind of fun, actually. And I've got a few things for you. I mean, when you get my age, the little rules of the road grows. I mean, I've got 100 of them, but these are the best ones I've got. So I'll tell them, and I'll tell you the little story of how I think they fit in. The first one is going sideways is going forward. Going sideways is going forward. I'll give you some examples. The next thing is whatever it is you do, it should change lives, including your own. The next one is it's not about the money, it's about the accomplishment. And the last one, maybe the most important, is never, ever, ever take advice from your future ex-wife or ex-husband. So, okay. My career started out of college when I took a job with a large medical diagnostic company, German company, where we sold everything from $30 urinalysis strips to $200,000 analyzers. It was a wonderful job, but tough job. But one day, we got in a new product. These little strips, little blood sugar strips, with the instructions of go to the neonatal nurseries, show these, stick your finger, let them see them, because about a third of babies are born with low blood sugars, and then you test the baby, they squirt a little dextrose, and they're fine. So I was on almost straight commission. I went, showed these little things. People would say, yeah, I'll take one. It'll last them about 6 months, so it wasn't a big money maker. Well, I lived in Kansas City at the time, and everybody was saying, look, we can't do anything unless Dr. Hall says it's okay. So I get an appointment with this guy, show it to him, and he says, they look great. Just tell all my neonatal nurseries to use this. He goes, but you're missing the boat. You're talking to the wrong guy. He goes, hold on. He gets a prescription pad, and he writes this out and says, Rich, this is Dr. Rich Hellman, diabetologist at KU Medical Center. Put all your diabetics on this. And he goes, go see him. He goes, he's a real ass. He won't see you without this. So I go over there. I go to the library, do a little study when there was no internet then, and go meet with this guy. He goes, the only reason I'm seeing you is because Paul said, so what do you got? I go, well, here's what I think I have. I've got these little blood sugar strips, and your diabetics can stick their finger, test their blood sugar, make changes in their insulin, their food, and their exercise, and potentially live a normal life. That's all I know. He looked at it, asked a few questions, and said, how are these things packed? I said, 24. He goes, okay, I'll take 24. And I go, great, 24. He goes, no, 24 cases. And there it began. And it was amazing, because what happened then was one of the most important lessons is when we started pushing this. The first people to adopt this were women, diabetic young women. Why? Babies, right? And all of a sudden, we started, diabetologists, the doctors started putting women on these who had diabetes, and the letters start coming in. Pictures of babies saying, I lost my first two, and now look, a healthy baby. And I knew that, and that's when I changed, because I thought it was about the money. I was on commission, I was selling these things, I had girlfriends to support. It turned out that this really wasn't little blood sugar strips. This was healthy little babies. And so that was an important lesson. So anyways, moved into the home office and led new product development for this German company. One of the products that came out of my group earned profits of about $1 billion. This is now about an $8 billion market. So we made a rich German a lot richer, and for that I got a plaque. I got a lot of good plaques. And so my boss and I left and moved to Seattle, went to work for a biotech company where you have a 1 in 10 chance of making a lot of money and a 9 in 10 chance of being unemployed. So, and I'm sitting here proud to say that the fair-haired boy was standing in an unemployment line a little over a year later. Put a hat on and sunglasses, hoping my neighbors wouldn't see me. But I'll tell you, I ate a big piece of humble pie, and it was probably one of the best experiences I ever had, because I walked out of that place and said, this won't happen again. I had two offers, actually. I had an offer. My ex-boss had gone to work for Johnson & Johnson down in Milpitas and said, Steve, come up. I got a great job for you. And then there was this crazy little biotech company called Bainbridge Sciences located on Bainbridge Island. My wonderful ex-wife said, okay, you failed, take the job so we can get some money. I didn't. I took the major sciences job. And it was a fascinating technology that they had. Now, what we could do is that from a biopsy, we could quantify the number of blood vessels that a tumor had created for itself in order for it to metastasize. However, as important as that is, because it would help a man decide whether or not to have this prostate removed or whether just to perform some surgery, whether a woman has a, just a, a mastectomy or just a simple biopsy, whatever, people couldn't get their heads around it. The investment community couldn't, the partners couldn't. One day, one of our little scientists came and says, I've been working on this thing. I think I've got a little monoclonal antibody for bladder cancer. Any interest in that? Yeah. So we went sideways and developed this little product called the BTA test for bladder tumor antigen. The first company I called to try to get some money to support the development of this was CR Bard, a big urological and cardiovascular company. They flew the Learjet right out and funded us and ended up buying the company. It was a good thing. We had this huge party, so they flew the lawyers out to give us our checks, and we were disgusted. We had a chocolate strawberry food fight. These guys were looking at, we had Dom Perignon, and we were like, breaking out. But I never forget, when they handed the check, you come up to give the check, I hand it to my ex-wife, and then immediately just start dumping. And later she said, I just can't believe that. You treated that like it was nothing. And I knew then it really isn't the money. Really, once again, it's the money. It was that accomplishment. We went for it against everything. We were broke at the time, went for it, and it happened. So that was a lesson on that. They came to me and other people in the company and said, look, we've got a deal for you. We want you to stay. Here's a check. Here's a check. If you stay with us for 2 years, it's yours. If you leave within 2 years, you got to pay it all back. And it was the biggest mistake I made. I really lost 2 years of my life because the thrill was gone. I wasn't in it, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And then, my ex-wife ended up with money. But I left there, was done with biotech, was done with medical, it was tough. Was done with biotech, and literally wanted to get involved in the internet. Now, this was 1997. Got out the yellow pages and just started flipping through pages saying, hey, can these guys benefit from the web? Attorneys, get the automobiles. I love cars. I'm thinking, we're going to put cars on the internet. Sounds great, right? Now it's like how you buy and shop for cars. Well, I'd go visit these car dealerships. We wrote all the code in DOS, wrote all the code. I'd visit these car dealerships and they'd say, what is the internet? Was that like a birth control device? And what is this thing? And it was failing. So we're in month after, every month. Kathy, I need some more money. Why don't you just admit it's a failure and get a real job? I never forget, it was 6 months into it. I was downstairs and paying bills, and there was $1,623 in the bank. And I thought, who did I not pay? Because there was never any money left. And then I realized it was profit. We finally turned the profit. And that was the sweetest $1,623 I've ever had. I woke the whole family up. Everybody, they're dancing. And it was cool. And that business never looked back. Another thing that happened in that business, what really turned it was, nobody was interested in putting cars on the internet. These car dealerships could care less. This one dealership, Subaru, I was there talking to him. He was the first guy, and he didn't sell anything on it, but he liked it. He says, Steve, you're really missing the boat. You got all that data, right? These computers, when you guys come out, they got all this stuff. See those people? And there's people looking at the window stickers on the new cars. He goes, why don't you print those up for my used cars? That'd be cool. So what do? Reprogrammed it. We got these stickers. Use that data, put those stickers on the cars. Well, car dealerships move their cars around. They don't sell them. All of a sudden, the phones start ringing. People go, you the guy who's got those window stickers? That's me. He goes, I want those. And yeah, I'll put them on the internet. I don't care about that. I want those window stickers. So going sideways was going forward. we grew it. We took it to, we had about 34 vans all along the West Coast collecting about 250, like 26,000 vehicle contents a month. And Dominion Resources called me up one day and said, "You ever interested in selling it?" And yes, I was. So sold it. My daughter and I, so I got rid of the business, rid of life, and my daughter and I flew out here, rented a Mustang convertible, had meetings with those guys, and we just drove down the coast to find a place to live, and ended up here. So I did for the first year. Didn't do much of anything really. Pool parties. I ended up buying a business, a little publishing business called Healthy Life Page, and it was fascinating. It was really strange. And we get some really strange people, psychics. One day, let's say 9 months, I get a call from a guy and said his fiance loves this. Would I be interested in selling? I said, I didn't know. It was a good little business. 3 days later, the company that I had hired to build this website, Cinema, called me up and said, "Hey, we built that website. You like this, right?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, I'm bankrupt. You want to buy the company?" So I didn't like this business. I like the web. So what I do, sold this to that guy and bought Cinema. Once again, it went sideways. So, and that's where I am today. So it's been about 10 years. Where does the passion come through now? The people that work, that work over at the shop. I mean, they're all young. They're all, definitely illustrated there. Actually, not. We got a Steve database program that's like 6 to 8 years old. That's good. Anyways, but we've got people now who, having babies, bought houses, doing well. I mean, primarily they're smarter. They're reaching potentials in many ways. I mean, that's good. I do a lot of going on there. People know us as a company that makes people money. That's what we do. I guess that comes a little bit with my age and being around and having some businesses. I look at everything and say it is about getting you some money, getting you some customers. So we're known for that. That's good. We've taken a lot of little tiny businesses, not significantly larger businesses, within employed people and done well with them. So, yeah, it's been quite a journey. In conclusion, I'll tell you guys we right down the street. We have some space. We have a little bit of money. We're always interested in incubating something. So if you have something and you believe you've got something that will change people's lives, give me a call. Thank you.
Questions? Were you afraid to diversify? Because it seems like all those businesses, they don't really have much in common. They seem kind of different, but it kind of worked out in the end. Were you kind of afraid to expand?
Scared as hell. Yeah, really. It's scary. But I will tell you, I've come to know now that fear is the best of all emotions. It really is. I mean, you notice this when you're kind of afraid, when are you the most alive? You're synapting and you're thinking and you're processing everything around you, right? And you're a little afraid. So I don't know. Now I like it. And I think it's good if you're a little afraid. That means something's happening. So, no, I didn't. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I was sure.
So you made it sound like a lot of this stuff just came to you, like almost like it was natural for you to make good choices and for these opportunities to work out. Is that like, you probably gave us the good news. Was there like strategy behind going from one business to the next, or just kind of work out the way it worked out? You know what I mean? Did you have any losses, or was it all just up and up?
I mean, I've been lucky. But I don't know if I was ever that big of a planner. I mean, I don't know that I was. I mean, I'm more about passion and enthusiasm. I'm one of those kind of guys. I don't know if I'm so big. But I would tell you, like the automotive deal, that was, I mean, I did nothing but flush money for 6 months. So it was a little something ahead of the game. I just think that sometimes, you go do something. I really believe in that. You just got to pay really close attention. any idea you have or anything that you have, at some point you've got to see it as like a plant almost, like a beautiful flower. And you plant it and you provide the soil and you do the fertilizer, but somewhere, whatever it is you've got, is going to have to grow all on its little self. You can only throw so much at it. And if it doesn't, go sideways. And so I think that's kind of the thing. A lot of people I know, I mean, they go after, they push things, and they push it, and they push it, and they go forward, and it's a loser. And that time isn't going to come back. So I would just say pay attention to this. You're probably just off-center just a little bit. And I guess from my standpoint, I believe if you plan out, if I would have planned all that out, I probably would have gone down with the ships a couple of times. We would have stuck to our guns, like with the cancer diagnostics. We didn't move sideways to that little simple pregnancy test for bladder cancer. It would have gone.
That's good. I was just curious. It seemed really
It all seems easier. Everything in the past seems easier.
So you have a great reputation at Hampton Roads as being one of the most friendly people in Hampton Roads.
Oh yeah.
So every time I hear your name, I hear great stuff. So my question is, what do you do when you meet people, or what is your philosophy towards people when you're sitting down with them as a client or just as a prospect?
So I see this. I've always seen every person as a library. I see them as a library. And everybody has a story, and everybody has knowledge. And I don't know, I just learn from everybody like that. And I'm friendly, yeah, I think so. It works well for me. I mean, I'm not. I mean, everybody knows I get really grumpy. People don't pay me. I'm not nice about that. I did great work for you. You're going to pay me. Bad things will happen. But the reality is yeah. I mean, when you look at that, and then when you see that, and you kind of picture that with somebody, and somebody is unhappy or they're kind of grumpy, you don't know what chapter they just went through. And I always kind of see that. What just happened to them in their life to make them that way? And you oversee that, and so I don't know, typically they get friendlier. But I think if you believe that in people, they're fascinating and wonderful.
Anybody else? Steve, thank you so much.
Good. Thanks.